Well, hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to the Patricia Raskin Positive Living Show right here on VoiceAmericaMedia.com. This is the program that shows you how to turn your problems into solutions, your obstacles into opportunities, and make your dreams come true. I am now in my 24th year of having my program on Voice America and Voice America Media. I've been on many other networks, done many other programs, and I've had several at once, but I've always stayed with Voice America Media because I think that the information is so important. They have great programs. So today we're talking about leadership. We're talking about really giving back, being a good leader. What does it take to listen, to be empathetic, to develop trust, to create a company where people really work together in communication and in harmony as often as they can. You know, we all have conflict in our companies and in our leadership, but if we can strive to understand each other and to create win-win situations, then it really will make a difference, not just in our communication, but in our productivity. So today, we are talking to Dr. Daniel Tataje. He is the leader of Mercy Dental Group, and it's an Inc. 5,000 fastest growing company. He's a multi award winning Best Place to Work organization. He helps leaders and families globally through his humanity focused leadership approach centered on the 7 marks of leadership: integrity, respect, positivity, empathy, teamwork, service, and humility. And we'll be talking about each of these. And we'll also talk about his journey um, here to this country. And welcome, Daniel.
Hi, Patricia. Thank you for having me here in your show. It's just very exciting to be talking to you today, your
Good,
audience.
good. Well, I could read more of all of this, but I thought it would be much better in your words than me reading. So tell us a little bit about how you began as an immigrant dentist from Peru and what you went through, some of the challenges and the transformation that led you to where you are now.
Yeah, well, as you can imagine, there were a lot of challenges as an immigrant. One main challenge is the language barrier. At the beginning, I came here. I learned English actually at age 25.
Wow.
I studied English in Peru, but not it's never the same. Um, so yeah, I had to kind of like learn from almost from scratch. So this that was one of the main challenges. But there are other challenges. In my case, I'm a foreign trained dentist, so I had to go through a lot of schooling and other things to just try to just get into the the industry. So I worked in many different positions within the dental business, starting with as an assistant, dental technician. I have done everything in a dental office, like answering phones, working with insurance,
Wow.
treatment planning, and all these things
Wow.
that which now looking back is just such a precious, a valuable experience that now I use, right? So because that gave me that experience I needed to just lead my people in a better way. I have done basically every position in the dental field.
And that really helps to make a great leader. There are other people that I've worked with that I've interviewed that are amazing leaders, and they did just what you did. They started right on the floor, right on the plant, whether it was sweeping or whatever it was, or whether it was, on an assembly line, so that you know all the different jobs. But I also would imagine that it gives you the empathy and the understanding of what they go through.
That is right, definitely. So, and this is one of the struggles that we have in our industry, and one of the reasons, or the main reason why I started my company. My company is a dental service organization. It's called a DSO, so it's a group of dental practices. Now, dentistry in the United States is becoming, in the last 20 years, more and more led by corporate or by private equity investors and people that have not actually ever seen a patient, and is turning it into a more a cold, I will say, more numbers driven industry.
Mhm.
So they make decisions based on numbers and without taking in consideration what is the patient experience, what is like what you're asking of your people. So for me, all these experiences that at the time were, call it negative, because I had to kind of like go backwards from what I had
Mhm.
from my degree. I had to start working as an assistant or so on. I that gave that experience gave me such a great view that I value so much today.
Yeah. But I also think that because you have that experience and you have that empathy and understanding, that it's going to bring loyalty to you from the people who work for you. And let me say that, particularly in dentistry, which people are afraid of dentists, there's a lot of fear. That they need that tender, loving care. They need that extra amount of understanding. And the people that you have represent you. So again, if they understand their patient because you have led the way, it's going to make a big difference in patient satisfaction because it's not just you, it's also your front desk person, right? It's your hygienist, it's your
Mhm.
person who does the billing. All of those people are very much part. And if the person has a bad experience with any one of them, they may not come back to the dentist.
That's right. And yeah, definitely that has a direct impact in the patient experience. We have to understand that every interaction that the patient makes, what we're trying to do is just to make a positive impact in the lives of people, right? So that's the mission of, actually the mission of Mercy Dental Group. So we want to make a positive impact in the life of people using our talents, and one of those talents is dentistry, but not all of them. We do listen to our patients. We care about them. We try to build personal relationships with them and use this dentistry is kind of like our tool, right? So of course that's our main service that we provide, but we are in the business of building relationships. So that starts with a phone call. It starts with
Mhm.
in every step of the way. So I make sure that everyone understands the importance of this, and more, it's not so much a strategy, but it's our duty, right? So that's how I present it,
Mhm.
more than um, because we can be strategic or trying to get something out of it, meaning like, well, that will bring more clients, and that's the reason, and it's valid. We can see it that way, but I like to think it better of being a good steward of our talents, right? So
Yeah.
we have
Yeah.
something to offer, something that is great, and something that can benefit someone else,
Yes.
and that's my duty.
And that speaks to your book, which is
Mhm.
The Leader Humanity Needs: How to
Yes.
Lead with Heart and Become a Force for Good in the World.
Mhm.
And so, what you really focus on is the soul of leadership, that changes people from the inside out.
That's right. Yeah, and the leader humanity needs is actually the reader, right? So the book is an invitation to everyone. Everyone can use has a unique set of talents and experience that makes them a gift to the world. And the world is an incomplete place without these people's talents. With anyone's talents, we are all valuable, and we can all lead someone into to a better place, right?
Right.
And if you see in the cover of the book, which I have the book here, you have the light overcoming the darkness, and that can be the leader, the people that can be light in the darkness is an invitation, right? So, and yeah, we can talk about the details, but that's the main premise of the book.
Yeah. And as you said, so that you're all leaders. So when you work with people, your internal customers, meaning the people who work with you, your team, they're
Hmm.
also leaders. So
Exactly.
it's, you're all leaders together and come together in that way.
Yes, I can't like I work well, I have multiple dental practices and multiple locations. I am the CEO of the company. I work in the headquarters office here. Um, so I tell my people, I cannot make the same like I can lead and I can make decisions and all that, but to change an environment at the dental practice and to create the dental experience, I have no influence. I can't. I can just give you the toolbox, but you have to be the leader. You have the person that uses and executes that use the
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
the toolbox.
And particularly where you're not in all the practices, right? And
Exactly.
so you're the leader. And are you practicing dentistry now, or are you are you more
Yeah.
the business person?
No, not anymore. I do. Yeah, it's an office job now. I do. I'm mainly the CEO. So yeah, I'm very busy with that.
Yes.
So I have
Yeah.
140 employees, and
Wow.
it's multi. We have some practices, most practices, 12. There are actually 17 practices that what I acquired in the last within 9 years.
Hmm.
And we merged those practices. Now we have 13 locations. 12 of those locations are for profit, and one of them is a nonprofit organization. So it's busy. I have a lot going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk um, again to Dr. Daniel Tahahi. More about the book and what are the seven marks of leadership? And also we'll talk about the nonprofit dental company, dental office, and what that looks like. What does a nonprofit practice look like? So stay tuned. There's so much here about leadership. Very exciting. Again, and the name of the book is The Leader Humanity Needs: How to Lead with Heart and Become a Force for Good in the World. You're listening to the Patricia Raskin Positive Living Show right here on VoiceAmericaMedia.com. We'll be right back. Well, hello everyone, and we are back. We are talking to Dr. Daniel Tahate, and he is the leader of Mercy Dental Group, 5,000 fastest growing company and multi-award winning best place to work organization. So he really does walk his talk. And when we think about it in terms of the book that he's written, What Humanity Needs, How to Lead with Heart and Become a Force for Good in the World, that certainly speaks to the awards that he has won. So, welcome back, Daniel.
Thank you for having
Did
me
I
again.
say your name correctly? Ta-
Tataje is my last name. Tataje, yes.
Tatahe. I didn't do
With
it
the J.
exactly right, but
Yeah, very
okay,
close.
good.
Very good.
All
Thank you.
right. And what is your website for people to look this up?
Well, they can. I have my personal website is danieltataje.com. So DanielTajaje.com.
Mhm.
Or they can, if they want more, they can see all the stuff that I'm related with in that website, which includes Mercy Dental Group and my other endeavors and nonprofit stuff that I do too.
And that's on that website.
And that website, yeah.
Okay. Daniel Tahate, which is
JE.
Tataje.com.
Mhm.
Okay. So let's talk about um, what's in the book and how you work with them. You said you have 100
And
employees,
40, 140 employees, yes.
140. So that's a lot. So
Yeah.
let's talk about these different 7 marks of leadership that you write about.
Mhm.
So let's talk about integrity. How do you instill that in you? How do you bring that to your company?
Well, the 7 marks of, well, the first of the marks, let me explain maybe that
Sure.
will be helpful if I explain how I worked into or how I created these 7 marks of leadership. It was because when I started, the company started growing very fast. I I knew that I needed to create a system where I could create more leaders, right? So at the beginning, had full control. I was present. I had only 4 employees. I was there in that same dental practice. But as we started acquiring more and adding locations, I just couldn't be everywhere. So I needed to create more leaders, but leaders at every position. I thought everyone has some talent, something to contribute to society and to our organization. So what kind of leader I want to build, and so that's how I came up with these 7 marks of leadership, which are integrity, respect, positivity, empathy, teamwork, service, and humility. And they are in that specific order for a specific reason. So we start with integrity, and integrity is necessary to build trust, and trust is necessary to build every relationship. So in our industry or in any industry, you you want to build. We're building relationships. We're building relationship with our patients, with vendors, with our coworkers, and and without integrity is very, I would say, impossible. Not only difficult to build this trust that is necessary.
Mhm.
So to me, like that's so very is very important when I am just negotiating an acquisition or something. I'm just building trust, and I'm building a reputation over time.
Uh,
So
Daniel, let me ask you, when you say that, does that mean when I say trust, what I think of is that I can count on you, I can count on your word,
mhm,
right? Um, that's what I think you mean.
yes, I make a lot of For example, I grew a lot, like the building grew a lot through acquisition. So this means that they were dentists that were about to retire, and they entrusted their legacy, their business to us, to me. And whenever we do these negotiations, I make a lot of promises. I tell them I will take care of your patients, I will take care of your employees. I will always I will respect your legacy, and I will continue this that you started. Right. So I want to make sure that I fulfill those promises, and I take care of my people, and I take care of the patients, and I build a business with integrity, right? So that means I am fulfilling my promises. I am doing what is right. I'm treating people like family. Um,
So if you can't promise them, or if you have to maybe tell them something they don't like, or maybe it's not the outcome they want, how do you handle that?
then I am very selective with what the practices that I acquire. If I cannot fulfill a promise, if I, let's say there is this practice that has a lot of, like, I don't know, we are not aligned in our values, and I will have to go in and I don't know, replace 50% of the employees or something like that, something that I will have to make radical changes. I prefer not to go in. What we do, I'm looking for practices that are aligned with what we do, with
Mm,
our values,
mm,
and then to make them greater. And it's not necessarily, we don't go in and change everything and just make them into one of our practices. We do take the legacy of the doctor, whatever made this practice great, and we add to it. So we make it even greater, right? So that's why we have to be aligned. And that is an excellent question, because I don't want to put myself in a position where I will have
mhm.
to just, I am the most transparent um, business negotiator, leader, I guess. Sometimes, it works against the I guess the deal, but I prefer that to be upfront. I'm very transparent. I'm very upfront, and I tell people
Well,
this is what I can do.
as you said, that builds respect too, which I know you're going to talk about next.
Hmm.
It builds longevity.
Yes,
Builds relationships.
that's right.
I'll just share something very quick that happened to me is I talked to a company and I got a tremendously warm reception about what I was doing and what their company is doing. And there were no, the tip off that I thought of later is there were no specific things about how they could work with me, but it was more about things are coming down the pike and certainly they're going to stay in touch and they're so blah, 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 all of this. And so that was very nice. And I heard got a couple of very beautiful, beautifully worded emails. Then I started asking specific questions like, could you do this specifically? Or could you do that? And I got what we call in our culture ghosted, meaning I didn't hear back. So then I wrote to the assistant and said, I'm surprised. And then I heard back and I got, oh, yes, I did get your email. I'm going to hand that off to someone else. So then I asked another specific question and I got nothing and I dropped it. And I was really, I felt, I don't know what the word is. It was because I'm pretty good at understanding
Hmm.
what the signals are. But basically, what I was getting was a lot of just flowery language
Hmm.
and really leading me on when actually nothing specific was going to happen.
Yes.
Because if it was, I would have gotten an answer. I do think that it is very wrong for for me not to have a reply from that person. Even to
That's right.
say, I would have preferred to say, that's a good question. We're not ready for that. I don't know if we will be. Check back in 6 months, but nothing.
Yes. Being transparent, being have integrity is important. You just that lack of integrity just broke that relationship that
Yes,
what
it
you're
did.
describing, right? So it is exactly you. How can you trust someone that is not telling you the truth? And so the truth is the most important thing in building a business and building a relationship in any way.
But I think what happens though, Daniel, is these people don't realize that. They think, oh, it doesn't really matter. This person isn't a big company, but they don't realize that it still stays with you.
Yeah.
And you have a network and you talk to other people. So it's just like you said, it does follow you. And
Yeah.
anyway,
And even if you don't, it's just not not valuing you as a person. And that is
ex-
what
that's how I felt.
I tell my staff, that's what leads us to the second mark of leadership, which is respect. And when I mean with respect, everyone knows what the meaning of respect is, but what I say, at least in the book, and what I tell my people is respect is understanding that everyone is unique. And it's not only unique, but is a gift in someone's life. Like the experiences and the what makes you who you are is just that you are the only Patricia Raskin in the history of humanity. No one existed before like you, and no one will exist in the future like you. So in a sense, it's an honor to be here with you, right? I'm with so you're a gift for me. You can bring
Thank you.
some great things in my life that I can learn from. In the same way with you, right? I can
Oh,
contribute something to
absolutely.
your life. So our patients that come and visit us and choose to be here, they have to be seen as a gift. Like, so it's an honor to have them. They're choosing to be here when they could be doing something different, right? So they
Hmm.
could be spending some time with their families and doing something
Right,
that they love. So I tell my staff, you have to value their time. The time that the patient is giving to you is so valuable, is something they can't make more of. They
right,
are here with you instead of doing, you know, something something
right.
they love doing. It's
Yeah. All right. On that note, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about other marks of leadership that you talk about in your book: positivity, which is one of mine, empathy, teamwork, service, humility. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about the nonprofit dental organization and practice that you have and how that's different and who that serves. So, again, my guest is Dr. Daniel Tahate.
Tataje,
I said it right,
Tataje,
Tahate.
Tataje, Tataje.
Okay. All right. The leader of Mercy Dental Group, Five Inc.'s 5,000 fastest growing company and multi award winning best place to work organization. So he really walks his talk, and his book says it all, but you can see it in the awards he's won. The leader humanity needs. Okay. How to lead with heart and become force for good in the world. Right. You're listening to the Patricia Raskin Positive Living Show right here on Voice America Media. We'll be right back. Well, hello everyone, and we are back. We are back with Dr. Daniel Tataje, and he is the leader of Mercy Dental Group and an Inc. 5,000 fastest growing company and multi-award winning best place to work organization. And he is the author of the book, What Humanity Needs: How to Lead with Heart and Become a Force for Good in the World. So, welcome back, Daniel. All right, we're going to talk more about these 7 marks of leadership, and then I have some really interesting questions for you about how to turn negativity into positivity. So, speaking of which, positivity is the next one.
Yeah. So yeah, positivity is a very important mark of a leader. We want to follow a positive leader. And what is a positive leader is not. Let me tell you what positivity is not first. What positivity is not pretending that everything is good or there are no problems or there are no conflicts. Is just understanding that everything, that even the negative things can become a positive in your life. Whatever challenges, the challenges make us stronger, the changes make us better. And so just and then you have the power to become the light in the darkness. One of my favorite quotes is, "It's better to light a candle than to curse darkness." We can complain
Mm,
about the darkness all the time, but we can also light up a candle that can inspire someone else to light up another candle, and all of a
mm,
sudden, such a bright light. That's the way you overcome darkness, and we have the power to do it as leaders, and that's what I encourage people to do. But then, I
the
mean, that
next one's empathy.
empathy, of course, empathy is such an important mark of leadership because, and empathy starts with the golden rule, right? So the golden rule says, well, do unto others what they want you want to be done to you. But what I do emphasize in empathy is treat others the way they want to be treated,
Mm-hmm,
not the way you want to be treated, because we established that everyone's unique and everyone is. So, in a way, empathy is opening the gift. I mentioned that everyone is a gift in your life. So when someone hands you a gift, you don't just grab the gift and just set it aside. So you want to open it. You want to see what's in there, and that is
mm-hmm,
part of like building a relationship.
mm-hmm,
So in this case, our patients are gifts, and being empathetic is getting to know them first,
mm-hmm,
so we can treat them and emphasize what is important to them.
mm-hmm.
So it's living a life for others, not for yourself.
Right. No,
And
so important. And then teamwork.
and teamwork, we emphasize the fact that we have to trust in other people's capabilities, that everyone is unique and everyone
Mm-hmm,
has a unique talent, and you as a leader have to identify those talents and either position them well or use them well, but make the talents like flourish. People flourish in those and grow on those talents. So I say that the most powerful thing you can say to someone is, "I believe in you."
mm-hmm,
And when you say that, you just, transfer power. And sometimes we don't have to verbally say it, we just have to act on it. So just act as we believe in these people, because we believe they are capable. And there's not enough of that in this world right now. So people
mm-hmm,
don't know sometimes how valuable they are.
mm-hmm,
And so that is the mission of a leader, is identifying those talents and make this person realize that they are
mm-hmm.
unique and also they are capable. And that's what delegation, when you delegate in the business world, they say, well, you have to
Mm-hmm.
delegate to free up your time. No, you have to delegate because it's your duty to just empower people, to just make
Yes.
sure that everyone
Yeah.
flourishes and grow. And
Yeah.
that's the way you grow a business, because if everyone grows, you grow, right?
Right.
But
And you can't grow in business if you're doing it all because you can't do it all. So
exactly.
you need the team. What about
Correct.
service?
Service is well, at least here in our profession, it's a profession of service. But service is, I always say, is a way to happiness, because when you and service is important because when you live your life for others, that means service. Um, and you sacrifice for someone. So imagine, okay, so if you think about someone, the person that you love the most, right? So you think of that, you think, oh, well, I can, let's say, if you are a mother, you have your sons or daughters, you are willing to sacrifice for these people because that's the way you express love. You put their needs of others um, in front of yours. And that is and love is a way to happiness. Everyone wants to be loved. We want to express love. Everything, if you think about it, everything is related to love. So that brings us happiness, fulfillment. And service is a way to express that love because it's putting the needs of someone in front of yours. And if you live your life, it's a little bit countercultural these days because in culture we here we are encouraged to just think of ourselves and think of whatever works for me, whatever makes me feel happy. But as an invitation, like what I do in the book is just invite people to live your life for others and in an attitude of service, seeing everyone as a gift. And that is the real fulfillment, that lasting fulfillment. And I have
Mhm.
experienced it, and I invite my people
Yeah.
and the company, and that's how the company has grown and is so successful is because we live our lives for others.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah,
And understanding. And part of that is the last one, humility.
yeah, exactly. Humility is last because in uh, in order to understand humility, you have to understand all these first concepts that I explained, and I call it the king of all virtues. Is because without humility, you can't see any of these things. You have to understand
Mm.
that yes, you have immense importance and you're unique and all that, but you're not the only one, right? So humility is not thinking less of ourselves, but it is thinking that you are great, but everyone else is also great. So you're not the most important person. So for example, here in my company, I'm the CEO of the company, but I am not more important than a dental assistant or anyone
Mhm.
in the organization. I just have a different job, and my job is to serve my
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
So that allows humility is what allows me to understand that I don't know it all, that I need people
mhm,
to do my work, and not only my work but the company's work, and that there is always imperfection, which is great, right? So I
mhm,
am not perfect, and I will never be perfect, but that imperfection will is the very tool that will make me better, right? So it's unlimited potential. Today I have to be better than yesterday, and tomorrow I'll be better than today. But if you don't have humility, you don't have room to grow, right? So you have
mhm.
to, in order for you to continue to advance and grow, you have to have a humble
Yeah,
mindset.
yeah. And we haven't been seeing that lately in our world. So and
That's
we
right.
see what happens when we don't have it. It divides people, right? It
That's right.
divides us when we don't
Mhm.
have that. So
That's
you
right.
wrote something in your book that's interesting. In terms of finding true happiness, you have the anti-greyhound approach to success. What does that mean?
Take Greyhound. Yeah. So, well, I guess what it is that sometimes we are seeking or chasing the wrong goals. For me, again, it was I grew up in poverty and with a lot of limitations, and my goal was to just get out of that with. And I thought that I was going to be happy if I achieved this financial success. So I studied my way up, and I just applied myself in every way I could, and I became excellent. And once I achieved this final, I guess, goal or where I was just comfortable, I realized that I was a very selfish person at the time. When I was doing all this for myself, and I just didn't want to be bothered anymore because I achieved this goal. But I realized how unfulfilling that was. So it wasn't until I just started living my life for others that I started experiencing true fulfillment. So if you see the greyhounds races, they chase this fake rabbit, right? The dogs.
Mhm.
they are trained to chase these fake rabbits, and they go with all their heart and just try to reach it. And time sometimes one of those dogs actually reach the rabbit, the fake rabbit, and realizes it's fake, is a piece of metal, and they get injured and they never race again. They can't.
Mhm.
They lose the motivation. So it's a lot of us chase this fake rabbit, right? So we think
Mhm.
that it's going to make us happy, and once we run towards it, to it with all of our hearts, and then when we realize it's not what we thought it was going to be, then we we lose the ability um, to continue, right? So the solution to that is living your life for others, and put your talents and whatever you produce with those talents at the service of the people. And that's what this company is. And my company is an invitation to all business leaders to think that way. Your company is the tool that you use to impact the world. It's not to
Mhm.
create wealth, it's not to make you rich. Yeah, that is a byproduct of that, but you're not doing it for that reason. You're doing it
Mhm.
because you're using this company as your vehicle of
Mhm.
goodness in the world.
Mhm. That's beautiful. All right, we're going to take a break. And in our last segment, we're going to talk about your nonprofit organization, your dental practice. Talk about that and who that serves, and more about the book, The Leader Humanity Needs: How to Lead with Heart and Become a Force for Good in the World. Okay. And my guest is Dr. Daniel Tataje, and he's the leader of Mercy Dental Group, an Inc. 5,000 fastest growing company and multi-award winning best place to work organization. Right? And we'll be back with Dr. Tataje right after the break. You're listening to the Patricia Raskin Positive Living Show right here on VoiceAmericaMedia.com. We'll be right back. Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Welcome back to the Patricia Raskin Positive Living Show, right here on VoiceAmericaMedia.com. We're talking about leadership today, and we're talking to Dr. Daniel Tataje. He is by Inc. magazine's 5,000 CEO who's discovered the 7 marks that transform business culture and family life. Okay. His book is The Leader Humanity Needs: How to Lead with Heart and Become a Force for Good in the World. And he is a dentist and the CEO of his company, Mercy Dental Group. And it's a multi award winning best place to work organization. And he has many practices. And welcome back, Daniel.
Thank you.
And we're going to talk next about one of your practices is a nonprofit. And I'd like you to talk about what that means. What does a nonprofit mean? Who does it serve? How do you
Yeah.
how do you promote it?
Yes. So at the beginning of the show, I said that the mission of Mercy Dental Group is to um, make a positive impact in the life of people using our talents. So I realized that the mission of Mercy Dental wasn't like full without, because we could only reach the people that can afford dental procedures, so then dental fees, right? So I created a nonprofit to just kind of like close the circle and just serve all people. So the nonprofit organization is called Mercy Dental Missions, and we have uh, um, mainly a threefold mission. So one is we serve people in poverty level, people that cannot pay for any dentistry. So homeless, refugees. We do events like that are called the Day of Mercy. So Days of Mercy a couple times a year, where we just open up clinic to just do free dental procedures for a day. The second part of the mission is mission trips. So we do go to rural areas in different countries to provide free dental services to those in need. Last year, we went to an orphanage in a rural area in the Dominican Republic. And this year, we're going to another orphanage in Peru. They serve about a thousand children down there in a rural area, poor area in Peru. So that is another section of the population that we can impact. And the third one is a local clinic that we have here in Madison that serves what we call people in the gap. So these are people that have jobs but no insurance. So it's a low income job with no insurance. They don't qualify for the state insurance, so they can't. They make a little bit more than that, but they don't make enough to they don't make enough to afford traditional dental fees. So they neglect dentistry because they can't afford it and they don't have insurance. So in our clinic is a clinic that is a low fee clinic, and we provide payment plans and things to make it more affordable for people that can't afford traditional fees of dentistry. So that, and with that threefold mission, we do complete this circle of impacting the most people, yeah, the majority of people we can.
Right. And when you travel, you go to mostly South America?
Well, yes, at least in the last couple of years. So again, we this will be our second mission trip. Um, and we're going to Peru, which was one of my goals. I'm from Peru, so I always dreamed of coming and helping my people. So that's what I'm doing this year.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So now your clinic that is the nonprofit, and that's in Madison, Wisconsin also.
Hmm.
So people would come and see what they qualify for, correct? I mean, eh, they would have to have a certain income level or certain amount of income
Yeah,
so that they could qualify.
yeah, and be uninsured too, right? So we don't take any insurance, and it's just we charge about like it's about 50% of traditional fees, or less in some procedures. And so it is a beautiful state of the art clinic. It has all that technology and materials and everything we use in every clinic. So it's a high quality dental clinic,
Hmm.
but at a lower price. So we do it a nonprofit. We count with donations as well to just be able to fund it.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. What are your closing thoughts, Daniel? What would you like to leave our listeners with today?
Well, I would like to just tell everyone that is listening to your show that they are valuable, that they are full of talents, and their experiences, even the negative experiences, making a gift, a unique gift. And that is what my book is about. Just giving you the tools so you can develop those leadership skills, so you can become a positive light in the world. You can become the leader humanity needs. We need a lot of those leaders, and that's why I wrote that book.
Wow, it's wonderful. All right, and let's tell our listeners the name of the book. So it's The Leader Humanity Needs, and you might want to hold that up again. And it's How to Lead with Heart and Become a Force for Good in the World.
Yes.
Yeah, which is great. And people can find it by going to your website, which
Yep.
is let's see.
DanielTataje.com, DanielTataje.com, or they can
Right,
go to they can find my book in Amazon too, or Barnes and Noble, or just
right,
anywhere. But yeah.
right. The Leader Humanity Needs. Okay. Yeah. Um, Anything else that you want to tell our listeners? Just about maybe dental care. Any quick comments about that?
Well, dental care is, as as you know, I mean, I'm a dentist. I will tell you that is very, very important. Um, but yeah, one of the biggest hurdles for dental care is fear. And we do, at least in our company, and I know most dentists now, we are very invested on making the experience a lot better. So don't be afraid of the dentist. Just come and visit, and because it is very important for your overall health. We
Yeah,
found a lot of
yeah,
conditions that are associated or started
yeah.
in the
A lot
dental.
of people don't remember that or don't realize that. They think it's just your mouth. It's the portal,
Yeah,
of where you're taking everything
exactly.
in. And if you neglect that, as you said, it affects your body as well.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for a very inspirational interview, Dr. Daniel Tataje. Really
Thank
wonderful. And remember, it's danieltataje.com, and you can also look it up. You can find his book, The Leader Humanity Needs, at Amazon. All right,
Yes.
stay on the line for a minute. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
All right, everyone, that wraps up this edition of the Patricia Raskin Positive Living Show. To find me, Patricia at patriciaraskin.com. And you can get a copy of my newsletter, which I send out every month at the beginning of the month, and all of my guests are in the newsletter for the month. Also, if you really want to get your positive message out, as we do every week, and you'd like to have your own podcast series, I've interviewed over 6,000 people in my career, and I'd love to help you put that together. So contact me, Patricia at patriciaraskin.com. Remember, stay healthy, stay happy, get the support you need, and know you can make your dreams come true. Until next time, I'm Patricia Raskin. Bye for now.